he's getting it now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Metal Customs. Today we got this Toyota Tacoma sitting on the lift. It came in for a frame repair. And as we was checking out the frame and stuff, of course I could hear it when he pulled up. He said he had a little exhaust leak. Well, I found it, and that's what I figured I'd fix it first. You know, it is, take a bad piece out, weld one in. Simple, get it done quick. No, never works that way. Come on in here and I'll show you what happens. All right, here's a piece of cutout. And you see that's where the leak was, right? Yeah, and you can't get a gasket in that. So just cut it out and put a piece of pipe in there. Well, easy enough. Goes right here after the pre-converter. But once I done that, yeah, that's not good. And why is that? Because there is supposed to be 3 bolts up there. And I hope y'all see that okay. One's missing there, and one's missing there. We do have one on the bottom. So, I unplugged the oxygen sensor. Let's see if we can get that bottom one off. It is a 14 millimeter. And hopefully we got a gasket, and we can find some nuts to fit this thing. Alright, well luckily that one knot came off fine. I don't really see any damage or anything. But this is one that takes the 2 circular type gaskets. I grabbed one of these, but that's not it. And the flange, it looks good too. Don't see no issues there. So, let me see if I can find a couple of these nuts and 2 of them weird round gaskets and get this knocked out. Well, cool. I found a couple of gaskets and some metric nuts to fit that thing. Put lock washers on them because the factory one is some type of lock nut. These other 2 were just regulars, so the lock washer should hold that thing. The gaskets I have been sitting over there forever. I hope they seal. But I did get this right here after the pre-cat. Like I say, that bad piece that I was showing you a minute ago. Yeah, got a piece welded in there, so that will take care of his exhaust leak. The rest of it looks good. He's had this cap replaced. Looks like everything's been replaced. It's got a decent looking muffler and pipes on it. Now, the main reason that the truck is here. Bam. Got some rust in the frame over here. This side? No. Yeah, this side actually looks pretty good. And the rest of the frame and none of the truck looks good except for a little spot in the bed. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. You see the rust on this side and how much the leaf spring perch has mashed up in there. So what we're going to do is rebuild on this section of frame right here, get this thing back safe and road worthy. Man, wish it was the other side, because this side the gas tank's got to come down and get it plumb out of the way, get the fuel lines off the frame and out of the way. Yeah, big hassle when it's on the driver's side. And I was going through here earlier and spraying the bolts and nuts that hold the gas tank up. And when I got to this one right here, see that band? That's what holds the gas tank in. Yeah. It's gone. It's just rusted to death. So I'm gonna have to come up with some type of band or some kind of strap for him for that, because that is a big safety issue. But we will address that when we put the tank back together. But for now, let's work on this rusty frame. Alright, now we're ready to really get to work. First thing I'm going to do, well, first thing I've already done is took the little plastic shield thing off where the gas goes in. Just open up the gas door, take the gas cap off. There's 4, I think they're 5/16 bolts, take them off, little plastic shield comes off. Wanted to do that while it was down. But now, next thing I want to do is move the drive shaft. I think I can take these 4 bolts loose here, pop it off the rear end, and hopefully just go up over the muffler here and put a bungee cord on it to hold that out of the way. Then I'll bring you all up in here and we'll get into this fuel tank, how to get everything disconnected and get it out of the way. Then we can get to our frame. All right, drive shaft came loose just fine. See what I mean? I just put it up there out of the way. I think that's enough room to drop the tank down and get it out. But the next thing you need to do, there is a bolt right here, and that's a bracket. And you need to get that bolt out because it holds the filler neck. Well, this is what happened to my bolt. Yeah, it broke right off. Well, seen that coming. When you got rust on a vehicle, don't be surprised at that stuff. All right, now, next thing I'm gonna do is get the transmission jack out and get it up under the tank. I've got these two bolts here that I will take loose. This bolt I will take loose, that's this strap. And even though the strap is broken, I'm still going to take this bolt out so that I can get this strap out of the way. Then we'll start letting the tank down and see what we got to do to disconnect these lines and get it all out of the way and safe. Well, we finally got the fuel tank out of the way. Remember that one bolt broke up there? Well, guess what? That one broke. Yeah, I've got to get that out. Get another one in there because that's a main strap that holds the tank in. These two came out, well, there's that good news. Got all the fuel lines capped off so we don't catch anything on fire. Tank is way up there out of the way where we're going to be cutting and welding. So the next thing we're going to do is pop all these lines loose, get them out of the way, get the wiring harness up. Try to get that bolt there out because that's part of our latch that we need to repair for the gas tank for that strap. That bolt, take that off. Get the emergency brake cable out of the way. We want everything free of the frame so we can get to working on it. What we're going to do, I got a couple of 6x6 stacked up here with a big scissor jack. I think this will work. We need to pick this up and unload this rear end. And if we can get this nut off here and get this bolt out and take this off so that we can clean it up really well. Other side, yeah, we can reuse that saddle right there for that leaf spring, but I do want to get it off. But yeah, I think we're on our way just fine. We'll see if this jack system right here works out for us. I think it will. Should hold it up well and unload it. We may have to put one here in the back, sort of steady it up some. I don't know, but we'll try this first and just see how it works. All right, we got everything out of the way, and I got all the rusted part of the frame cut out. This bolt will not come off. I beat and beat and beat. It's not moving, so I'm not going to tear anything up. So what I'll do, I'll come up here with the grinder and stuff and clean all this up on the vehicle. I did take me a strap to hold that down. That thing keeps wanting to creep up. Need room to rebuild all of this frame right here. So what I'm fixing to do now is come in here with the grinder and do some cleaning up on everything. Get up in here and see what all that mess is. Yeah, there's just a bunch of trash in there. And get it all cleaned up and get some of the weldable primer on it, outside and inside, and get ready to rebuild a frame. Got all that cleaned up, and I got 2 and 3 coats of that weldable primer. I made sure I got really up in there as good as I could, and up here on the tops and in the back. And I got my saddle cleaned up and got it primed as well. All right, now I need to start cutting some steel and rebuilding the frame. Now, as y'all see, that frame is not that thick at all. But when I do one of these, I tend to put a little bit in it. You know, this is going to be my main support on the bottom right here. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Now we're going to try to get this piece bent the same as that frame. Of course, I have the passenger side to go by, and I've already held it up there and measured it out. Thank God we got a bit. Let's see if we can accomplish this here. This might do it. Already had a bend in it, try to get it out of there. Alright, there's some of it bent. We'll run over and check it right quick. Yeah, we got lucky, that's it. So, let's head over to the truck. Alright, I got that piece of steel bent just like I want it. That's going to be our main support. And what we're going to do, we'll get this in here and get a good weld all the way around it. Then we'll make some pieces go up for support. Then once we get that and get that good and solid, we can take some sheet metal and box it all up and make it look pretty. And also, I got that bolt out. Remember I told you we had to get that out? Well, I just cut the metal out. And the reason I did that, when I stuck my finger down in here, it was this full of dirt and mud. And yeah, I just got all that crap out of there. That would have been the next spot to rush through, because look at that. Yeah, that is terrible looking. That's why that bolt broke off. But what I'm going to do is get that cleaned out and get some primer sprayed up in there. And then I've got a metric grade 8 bolt that we're going to get up in there. We'll make us a plate. We'll weld that plate and we'll get that bolt up in there so that we can get that back together like it's supposed to be and stop all that rust from issuing right there. But yeah, so far, so good. Alright guys, get that hole fixed. I welded some metal in there. And I made it where I can just drop a bolt through from here. I think that's a lot better. But I've got this piece welded in and it's all primed. It's not going nowhere. And I got two supports that go all the way up here to the top and they're welded everywhere. So this is not ever going to go anywhere. The top of these are like this right here. So that flat plate is sitting up against the top and I was able to get good welds up there as well. So as far as structure goes, this is beyond a shadow of a doubt structurally sound. Now what we need to do is get the perch welded up. You noticed I put this support about where the perch is going to be for extra support. Once we get that perch welded on there, I'm waiting for that primer to dry for a weld anymore. Then we got to take us some sheet metal and box this thing in where it looks nice. But yeah, I think that'll hold. That will probably outlast this truck. All right, we got all that sheet metal work done. Check it out. Yeah, it don't look bad at all. This is the inside. I've already got it primered. Let's see the outside here. Ugh. And there we go. Yeah. Boxed it in, made it look well. Of course, we know the real structure is on the inside as far as holding and being strong. But we had to make it look good around the edges here. Alright, we'll let that primer dry. Put 2 coats of, what was that? Under Armour or something. Stuff that I picked up at the Harbor Freight. So we've got some good primer on it. We're fixing to put some undercoating on here to protect our repairs. But yeah, it's looking good. Alright, well while that primer is drying, we need to take this off because we have that, remember that broken bolt there? Yeah. is a little rusty. Well, I say a little. It's really rusty. This is not a hammer. Oh yeah, that socket will be there for the rest of its life probably. Deal with it later. Alright, grab me some pliers and give these a twist. See if we can get this off here and get it over here on our little table and get rid of this. And when we put it back together, we can just nut and bolt it. And this here is pretty straightforward. We're just going to take the torch and blow that crap out of there. Like I say, it's fine to just have a bolt and nut in it. Good enough. We'll let it cool, take it over to the grinder, clean it up, bolt nut, quick and simple. Alright, now we need to get this broken stripe out of here. I'm not sure, but I think there's two bolts on the bottom. There's two 12mm bolts. Maybe they're on that strap. Let's see. Make sure we're on them good. Oh yeah, and they're rusted. They're going to break. Yep, there's the first one broke. Best way to get a broken bolt out, just throw the socket on the ground. I hate breaking stuff, but you know, if it's rusted, you gotta break it and you gotta fix it. Come on. Alright. Mission sort of accomplished. I might get the gas tank picked up. Try to figure that one out here in a minute. Just a pry bar will be enough to do it. Two pry bars maybe. So jammed in over here. Keep pushing these in. There's the duck hiding up. And there we go. Leaving pry bars there. And that's what we got. Nice broken bolts that hold the shield on. But as you can see, stripe rusted away. So that's what we're going to have to do is figure out. We're going to have to make that strap like from here on up to that other piece. May do that once we get the tank in. We'll just have to see how it goes. All right, guys. We got that undercoating on there. Boy, that stuff looks good. Let me go to the outer out there where you see really, really well. Yep, walking around. Long walk. We're almost there. Just hold on, we'll be there in a minute. Okay, we're here. Yeah, check it out. That stuff is awesome. Yeah, this makes the rest of the frame look like crap. But it is a frame repair, not a complete frame restore. So, we have repaired it. And I don't know if y'all see it or not. Got my HMC stamped in there. Yes. But that looks really good. And I'm confident that it'll hold. I'm really confident that it'll hold up. And we got 2 to 3 coats of primer on that thing. And plus I put a thick coat of this undercoating on it. So, yeah, good deal. Now, let's go over here. We got to work on this gas tank strap. Because the next thing is putting the gas tank in. And then we'll be done with this situation. I got the, well, you see me blow that out with the torch. So we've got a hole there for bolt nut. And I ground it down and put some primer on it. And now took a strap and I cut the rusty spot off. See, that's good metal right there. Yeah, now what I got to do, take the torch, cut these out. Then figure out a way to be able to bolt that shield back up. But let's crank up the torch again and get them cut first. Well, that will do that for now. Let it cool down a little bit, take it over to the grinder, clean it up. Then we'll figure out a way to get it where to bolt back on there. Alright, that's taken care of. We'll figure out them bolts. I already took this off of the truck, got it cleaned up, it's ready to go. Throw it in the tray over here. Now the deal is we need to get this strap in there on the tank and everything before we put it up. But we really don't know how much short it is. Here. Yeah, I'm talking, but my head was cut off there. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of this here. This is a good strong thick steel. And probably just cut this strap right here off of this. And go ahead and weld it onto here. Because I know this will come up and curve and go up to that other piece. But we'll go ahead and weld it on here. That way we can get this back on the tank and get the tank up. And yes, we'll be welding while the tank's up there, because we'll have to come in here and cut this off at length, weld it to the other piece. But don't worry, we'll be safe. I'll make sure there's no fuel spills or anything like that, plenty of wet rags, and it'll be a quick weld. So we'll be good on that, no issues of safety. But let me go ahead, I'm going to chop this off right here, and I'll clean it up a little bit, and get it welded to here. And then we can figure out our bolts and get this back on our tank. Alright, got that welded on, and let that primer dry up the rest of the way. Went ahead and put the rubber on here that protects the tank. And what I've done is I slotted these out, as you can see, which will be fine. I've got these stove bolts here that will go in here and catch, and that'll be plenty enough to hold that shield on. And I've got the locking style nylon nuts to go on there. So yeah, I think that'll work pretty good. I'm going to let this primer dry for a little bit, and then we'll try to get this back on the tank. Go ahead and start our bend, which is going to be roughly somewhere here. And then get to working on getting our tank in. Alright, we got that back in there like it's supposed to be. Cool, cool. Well, I'm hoping that's long enough now after looking. If not, we can add to it. But at least it's up here where we can get at it at weld, no problem. And the little bolts that I run through there, I'd use some big washers, but that worked out outstanding. Yeah, that's going to hold well and do well. Went in and took the air hose and cleaned off the tank before I put it back up there. But now, what do we got to do? Get all this lumber moved, get some stuff cleaned up. Need to sweep our floor so that our jack will roll good. But let's start getting everything ready, I do believe, to put the tank back up in there. Alright, well, we've got a gas tank in. It all worked out well. A drop-in bolt up there in front, that worked out perfect. Now what I've done, I've got everything tight on the gas tank. All the fuel lines hooked up, filler neck, all that's done. All of this up here is tight. The only thing I lack is a strap. And as you can see, I've already cut that strap to length. We have plenty. It was sticking up about right here. So that's a good deal. So what I'm going to do is weld this across here. And then I'll take the vice grips off, raise it up, and get some welds in behind here. Then tighten this. And that will have that taken care of. We'll shoot a little bit of undercoating on that exposed primer there. Besides that, I think all we got to do is put in the drive shaft, and we got this thing whooped. Alright, got that all welded and taken care of in there. Yeah, it turned out good. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Glad I found that broken strap. Well, I mean, I would have found it for what I was doing, but it's just, you know, big safety issue. Because all it had was these two bolts up here and this strap holding it. So, I mean, over time it could have started sagging and caused some issues. But now it won't. It's all taken care of. Frame is done. Drive shaft's done. I do believe I got everything hooked up. I fixed to make sure there's fire up and we ain't got no fuel leaks from the connections. Besides that, we got this one knocked out. Well, what you know, it started right up. We have no fuel leaks and the exhaust is quiet. I didn't hear no leaks on it. So all of our repairs worked out fine. We know the frame's going to hold up. I mean, come on. Over-engineered the crap out of that thing, and it'll probably outlast the truck. But we done the man a good job, and we fixed everything that coincided with the frame repair, so we ain't got to go back and do it again, and he doesn't have to pay to have it done again. It's fixed right the first time, and that's the way I like to do it. Well, everyone, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you liked the frame repair and the other little items we did on the little Toyota Tacoma. If you would, throw us down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon and or the Super Thanks. And please, like, share, and subscribe. Again, appreciate it much. Till next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.